Thank you very much. I do welcome you all today, and to the topic I want to talk to you about electrosmog, a result of the modern society. Let's have a look together if artificial electromagnetic fields and radiation, which are surrounding us all the time, if they do have an effect on humans or not. As you know, there are, as everywhere, two different opinions always on this topic.
Sobre este tema.
The thing is, what we have to bear in mind,
Lo que tenemos que recordar, en primer lugar, ante todo, es que los campos electromagnéticos y las radiaciones son algo que no podemos ver ni podemos escuchar. Tampoco podemos olerlas, no podemos saborearlas, no las podemos tocar. ¿Y qué quiere decir esto para los humanos? Significa que nuestros 5 sentidos no se dan cuenta de la presencia y la atención de estos campos electromagnéticos y de la radiación. Además, esto significa que como estos 5 sentidos son nuestros y los tenemos para que nos protejan de cosas que nos pueden estar haciendo daño. Así que estos 5 sentidos son un sistema protector. Sin embargo, no reaccionan ante estos elementos. Es algo que tenemos que recordar. Por eso, vamos a echarle un vistazo esta tarde a las radiaciones de todos los materiales y que pueden tener un efecto en los Estados Unidos. Y vamos a echarle también un vistazo a los campos electromagnéticos.
Power lines in the houses, power lines which are going from city to city, even the cables which are surrounding here, all do have electromagnetic fields. And even if we do not touch them and we can't see them, let's have a look what they are able to do. As you see here, this is real. The people do not touch with their lights the electric lines, but they are turning on. As you see, the electromagnetic fields are there. The following slides we will have a look on are not my personal opinion. It's the opinions of scientific studies which they proved that electromagnetic fields out of artificial sources are harming human beings. At the moment we are looking approximately about 1,600 studies which are pointing this issue. These studies you can have a look on all these web pages. They are all there. So it's not something which we create, it's something which is real. And let's have a look on people which are involved like that, like Mr. Ulrich Wanke. He says burnout is a problem coming out of electromagnetic fields. Or another very important scientist, Professor Muskeler, says, and he produced the atom study 1 and 2, he found out with his team that oxidative stress and DNA damages are possible through electromagnetic fields. Or Professor Adelthofer, he made the reflex study and he proved with his team that out of electromagnetic fields and radiation there can be a danger to our DNA. And Professor Leonard Hartl and Karl Hecht, he proved as well that electromagnetic fields and radiation can even cause cancer. Dr. Carlo and his team, he's a well-known scientist in the United States. He made scientific proof that electromagnetic radiations from mobile phones can harm human beings. Professor Kundi found out something very important for us, for our children. Children are more affected by electromagnetic fields and radiation than adults are. And Barry Tower, a scientist and a developer of the Wi-Fi system, makes the sentence, "It is dangerous like the extent of Contagan." And even the WHO did classify the mobile radiation as cancerogen. So, as you see, the things which we are talking now on, it's scientifically proved, not my opinion. Scientists all over the world did prove what I will show you in today's reality. the modern world of communication we are in. We are surrounded by satellites all over the Earth. They send and beam electromagnetic fields and radiation, mainly to the mobile transmission stations for us to use our mobile phones. We are using it in our cars. We have Wi-Fi, we have Bluetooth, we have electromagnetic fields from cables in the car. We are using it in public transport. And, this is important, we are using nowadays all these things in our house and in the buildings where we work, where we live, where we walk around, where we work, and in our private home. We have Wi-Fi at home, Bluetooth at home, we have electricity at home, all these things which are producing electromagnetic fields and radiation. And some of us even using it when they're doing sports or just to control their physical status. If you look at that, and the studies did find out, if we are using it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, this can have an effect on your health. Let's have a look on the current studies which have been made international-wide and the effect on electrosmog. We will have a look on the summary effects according to the results of these studies. That means I pick out now the main important things through these 1,600 studies made on 4 very important items: the air we breathe and the effect of electrosmog to the air, the water we drink and the effect of electrosmog to the water, and the cells we humans build from and the effect of electrosmog to the cells, and the most important thing to recover as a human being, to our sleep and the effect of it. Let's have a look firstly on the air issue. The scientists did find out if there is a lot of electromagnetic fields and radiation, the conditions and the fine dust conditions in a room, in a house, in a building, and even outside is being changed in that way that more fine dust particles do stay in the air where we do breathe in. And as a lot of medicine people do know as well, fine dust particles with a size of PM1 are able to enter our lung system and even go through our blood system. That means electromagnetic fields and radiation are able to change the air and its self-cleaning effect in that way that more fine dust will stay in the air which we breathe in, and the fine dust is coming into our own systems. The other thing, the water. As you all know of, human beings existing out of water from 70 to 90%, depending on which scientist you look on. The water is not just the water we drink, the water is inside our body. And the effect of electrosmog to the water is as follows. Scientists all over the world, for example, Mr. Dr. Emoto, the Japanese scientist who did a lot of science about water, did recover that water, if it's healthy, is staying in a correct order. An order which is symbolic here shown. That means you see an order place of the H2U. And the scientists did find out nowadays that electromagnetic fields and radiation is destroying this order to a water cluster. So the things which are in order gets destroyed to a disorder. So most people think, hey, H2O, water is water. It doesn't matter if there's an order or it's not an order in it. But bear in mind, there is a very important issue. For example, if we look on water pictures, real-made pictures from water, you see an order here, you see an order here, and you see an order here. Clear structures. And electromagnetic fields can change this to a disorder, as you see here. Okay, it's still water, but if we think we are built out of water as well, and the water in our blood system is at least 55%, And scientists did find out if you do structural modification to a molecule, the physical features will be changing. In other way, if you look on the human body, if he is in order, that means everything on his skeleton is in order, he is able to do all the performance a body has to do. Like here, water in order, body in order. And if you do just a slightly change and modification to the order of the body, we all do know by the time, sometimes earlier, sometimes later, we get a problem out of this disorder because the natural function disappears. And the same is with water. Water is for us a very important thing. It is transportation system, it is energy saving system, it is communication system in our body, and it is end-poisoning system in our body. So if you're changing the structure, these things will have an effect on. The other things what the scientists find out about the cells we are built of is that a natural built cells normally has a polarity inside mainly negative and outside the cell mainly positive. And that is found out by the influence and the impact of electromagnetic fields and radiation. This order changes as well. It becomes inside as well a positive polarity because H plus ions do enter the cells. And okay, you can say this is not a problem. Of course it is, because you see as well the cell expansion is decreasing. And this has a very important effect on the metabolism. Let's have a look first on one other thing. If we have here healthy cells, you see normally minus and minus is not attracting each other because it goes off. But if you are putting in some changed cells, we get a different picture because then we have plus and minus, and this is attracting each other and making a clustering effect. And let's say these cells are erythrocytes out of your blood system. And now have a look on natural blood. It looks then like that. And the explanation is because the cell structures got changed with their polarity. And if you imagine that this kind of blood has to be transported in your body, it is more difficult because it needs more pressure and it can transport less oxygen, which is very important for us human beings. Let's have a look on the last effect of electrosmog on the sleep, which the scientists did find out. Since 7 years, we have a dramatically increasing of sleeping problems. And these scientists did find out that the way we live has to do something with it, because we are surrounded by artificial electromagnetic fields, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, energy lines, solar energy lines, and even at bed we have lights on the right side, on the left side, for whatever you need them. And these things they did find out do affect the most important recovering system the human being has, the sleep. We all know if a person gets no sleep, he gets ill. It's just a question of time. Let's put together what these studies did find out as a result on human being. They find out that the electromagnetic fields and radiations do affect the human being in the way that it's changing the air we breathe. It's changing the blood which is inside our blood system. And it's changing the water which is inside our whole body. And it is changing our sleeping system. And the result is that the human being is getting a lack of power, and therefore a lack of health, a lack of working force, and a lack of regeneration. And this is very important because of a metabolism disorder as a result of electromagnetic fields. You may have wondered when you are phoning on your mobile, let's say for 1.5 hours or 1 hour while you're getting so tired afterwards. Now you have an answer to it. What can be done? What is the solution? Because I guess nearly no one of you wants to not use this modern communication. Some of them do have to use it for work or to get more comfortable. But on the other side, there needs to be some solutions in order to be in a friendship with it. And we will have a look now on the solutions we can do. First thing is informing yourself. Because if you know of a problem, you can do something against it. The second thing is, of course, you could reduce the use of electromagnetic fields and radiations made by some products. Or you can use alternative products. But I guess no one of you wants to go back from a portable phone to a baseline phone. I guess especially women doesn't want it. Do I agree? Okay. The other thing is, as we're living in a modern world, there's as well always a modern solution to it. And one of these modern solutions I want to introduce to you today. It's the MEMON technology. The MEMON technology is a technology which allows you to use the 21st century's products with electromagnetic fields and radiations without negative effects. That this technology is working is scientifically proved. For example, by Mr. Professor Dr. Armin Bechmann. He wrote even 3 books about this technology. One about the technology and the way it works. One about the meta-study. That means from the company MEMON, he took out of the 78 studies they have done already worldwide, and he classified 48 studies as scientifically proved that this technology is working. And he explained the backgrounds why this technology is working in our modern world. Another scientist who proved the scientific MEMON technology is the Professor Darch. He proved that if you're using these kind of products, the cells are being protected by high-frequency radiations. And now have a look on what the company did prove by several other scientists, what this technology is able to do to the air we breathe. You remember the picture here, the fine dust through the impact of electromagnetic fields which we breathe in. If you're using within buildings, within a room, within a house, this kind of technology from MEMON, it is changing the air to this natural state that the fine dust is being cleaned by the bigger particles automatically by attraction of plus and minus polarity and drops to the ground, so the air is getting clean and you are breathing clean air. And it has as well proven it to the water. This is how water should look like natural spring water. This is how normally our tap water looks like. And this is the tap water in combination with the MEMON technology. And you see, the structures are coming back. So the technology is enabled to bring back the structure to the water which we just discussed about how important it is for our human body. And even to the cells, the company did studies. You remember the impact on the blood of electromagnetic fields, and this is the impact of electromagnetic fields with the technology on blood, and you see the blood stays as it should be. So much. Okay, I do not need so much. Okay. Now we have a last look on the sleep, which we discovered before, which is getting disturbed. The effect of electromagnetic fields, we have seen here, it is increasing the sleeping problems. The scientists did find out. with the protection and with the technology of Mammon, there is a change. People find back to their normal sleep because the Mammon technology is able to change the artificial electromagnetic fields and radiation in a way that it is not harming and disturbing the sleep of human people. Let's bring it together. With the technology, there is a possibility to use the 21st century products without harm to still stay in strength and to still recover whenever you need to recover. More than 100,000 customers worldwide are using this technology already and being satisfied. Let's say it this way. You have your health in your hand. Act for your health and keep in mind that these electromagnetic fields and radiation are doing scientifically proved something with us human beings. Therefore, it's always a need to do something. Thank you very much.